Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today I'm on the first floor, at least we call it here, and I'm gonna tell you about being very cheap. And I'm very cheap in a specific way. I don't like wasting my money. I can buy big gifts and buy a drink and pizza and go out for dinner with people I like and I'll pay. But I don't like wasting my money, so I want the people that I go out with to appreciate the things that I do. And never mind that, but I'm also cheap when it comes to heating, and therefore I rather pay the money on insulation than on heating. So it might look expensive to buy insulation, but it's actually very cheap, because every time you put up some insulation you save money. You might not save them right away, but in a house like this where I have a wooden stove, I save not just money but also labor. I can kind of see the times between that I have to go down to the stove and fill it up. It gets further apart the more insulation I install in the house. So even though I just bought some more insulation and I paid 95 kronas for it, and 95 kronas has to be divided by 5.8, I think, to get that in dollars. So it's probably about $17 for a piece of insulation. So $17, that's about $4 something. There's 4 sheets in it, so it might feel very expensive when you go out and buy this, but it's only when you look at it on a very short run. If you look at it long term, it's a good investment, and you're more or less making money when you're buying insulation. You have to put it up as well, but you are saving a lot of money, and that's the right way to be cheap, in my view, from my perspective. I have 2 kinds of insulation here. I have the hot bats. If you've seen some of the other videos where I've been working on the 2nd floor, I've been using these hot bats to put up under the roof and to put on the wall. And they're really good for that because they're hot, and I'm actually hurting my hand doing that. And they're like 50 millimeters thickness, and I put that up under the roof, as you've seen in my videos about insulating my roof. And then I have some other, it's glass fiber insulation that I'm also gonna insulate. I have the hot rockwool here up against the roof plates, and then I insulate with the soft insulation. It's another brand, but insulation is really insulation. You could read and write thick books about the insulation, but more or less you just need to have some insulation so that you're good. And I am putting in about 200 millimeters of insulation up under the roof, and I would have liked some more, but that's how thick the beams are. And actually the reason I'm putting in the hot insulation is to get those extra 5 centimeters or 50 millimeters, 5 centimeters, same thing. So yeah, I'm putting up more insulation today. So here we are up under the roof, and I have actually been cheating a little bit, or maybe it's not cheating but preparing. And if you saw my other videos, these pieces was missing, and I put those in last weekend. also over here and also in here. Let's get some light on that. In there is also insulation going up, and it looks pretty neat. And I put on a few bats on the wall here, and I'm gonna do the same thing over here, all the way down and all the way in, and insulate it really well, because it pays off. And I have been removing the lamps. I can't remember if I said that. And I've been putting up some more of these boards, 2 more, and I've cut off this beam. I think this beam was cut off, but I cut off this beam, and I did also cut off the beams up here on the other side, so that now this board that is laying here will fit up there going this way, and that will help hold up the insulation in that angle. But right now I am putting on insulation on this wall and up here. I need this little corner as well. When I got this little corner, I'll be done with all of this wall. I might go in and put some insulation in these small cracks, just some loose pieces, but it's a minor detail. So yeah, I'm doing that. Okay, got the insulation over here. There's 4 bats in, or 4 pieces in a bag like this. This knife is really very dull. But it's okay to cut the insulation with. I also mixed up some concrete, a nice sticky solution that I'm gonna attach the bats to the wall with, and I found a bigger bucket than last time. I'm gonna find some nice place to put the other ones. Next. Now they're kind of out of the way. The bats that I've done here behind me, I've been using scrap pieces, small pieces that has been left over from doing the roof. But right now I need to get this done over here, so I'm gonna use a big piece, even though it's $4 something. These bats, they have a hard side and a soft side, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it in the bottom over here. Can you see that? Just move the camera. Maybe not there. I'm gonna put it in the bottom over here, so I have to cut off this corner so that it will fit in there. So I'll measure that up and I'll put it in. So now I've been cutting off the corner, and there was a little bit with some of the wooden pieces down there that I had to take into account, and now it kind of fits, but I'm just gonna check to be perfectly sure, and it's not that easy to get it in and out here without damaging. And it fits pretty good in there. Like that. Now I just have to take it back out and put on some of the glue. It's a bit off here, but
I'll cheat in some other way. Putting on the cement glue to get it to stick to the wall. It's a big piece, it's gonna get heavy. I have to be very careful when I put it back on the wall so that the block doesn't break. So I'm gonna see if I can put it up. If I can't and everything breaks, I'll edit out this piece. Oh, it's gotten heavy. It's in there. It's not that bad. Another big piece of insulation done. It doesn't really stick that well to the wall right now, but it will. So here is kind of half a Christmas tree that I made, and it fits up at the top. And I've already put glue on, and I'll put water on the wall, and now I'm gonna see if I can fit it in. It takes a while to make a piece like this. It's a lot of a puzzle, but it's time that I save in the other end by not having to make not as much firewood. Yeah, this fits pretty good. It could have been better over here, but it's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna cut a corner out and put in there. Knife. On the corner. That will fit in there. Yeah, take a little of it. Glue on it, not that I think it will be needed, but kind of just put it on anyway. And there are some small holes here and there. It's not that important because there's gonna come a thick layer of insulation on top of all of this. I think I'll have insulation to all the way out here, so lots of insulation. That's actually, as you can see, that's about 350 millimeters of insulation on the wall. So after about an hour of work, I got the entire wall covered in insulation. And I got really cheap here. Instead of using another big bat, I used a lot of scrap pieces. So it probably took a bit longer, but never mind that. And also in the corner, I also used scrap pieces down here. I need to put in a bigger piece there, but that's because it comes out here, so I want to do that with one piece. But yeah, the wall is covered. I have some gaps here that I would like to fill up with loose insulation, but the hard insulation is not very good for that. So I'll be doing that when I get the loose insulation up here. And from down here it's easier to see how big this attic really is. And all the beams that I've been sawing, been changing so that I can put up the ceiling floorboard. I can see if I can do that so that you can see it. Floorboard like that. It's not gonna go on top at the last one there, but it's just to keep it there. So, and then there'll be insulation on top of that, and everybody will be happy, or at least I will. I got some insulation done. It's kind of hard to work on more than a couple of hours because it's kind of, it itches everywhere. Maybe I should be wearing gloves and yeah, breathing things. That just makes it even more impossible to work with. But yeah, I expect that I'll be saving on heating already, saving on the wall that has been insulated there. Higher temperature up here means higher temperature down in the living room as well. So everything is good. Thank you for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.